Sometimes you can stagnate at an encounter with the Lord. And when it is time for the next things of your life, if you don't have the next encounters, you will not go to the next height. What you have is genuine, is legit. It came from God, but it also can have an expiry date. And when it expires, because you have refused to move on to the next things of God for your life, you will become a relic. You become a relic. You become like those places people go to go and visit for historical reasons. You have a few of them in Lokoja here. You go to Mampati, they'll tell you stories. This place, this was where this person lived with his wife, or something, isn't it? Are they still there? Are they still ruling from that place? Is anybody still operating government from that place? You will not become once upon a time. You say, those days when we used to born, those days when we used to fight. How can you be alive and your dealings with God are told in the past tense? He said, as captain of the host of the Lord am I now. There is always a place. There is a place that you are in the spirit. And whether that place is still in season or out of season is a very important matter. Because there are many of us that are 6 seasons overdue. That if your progression with God was consistent, if your walk with God was consistent, and if your progression was untampered with, you should have been 6 levels ahead of where you are. The last time that anything serious happened between you and God was 9 years ago. I know if you are a good student of your own destiny, you will even know that you have something that looks like a cycle. Some persons have important transitions every 2 years. Some people you can tell in the will. By will, I mean the cycle of your walk with the Lord. It's like every 3 years you have a critical appointment with destiny. There are cycles. You don't have time for that. Because I can show you in scripture. There's something called times and there's something called seasons. Unfortunately, many Christians are terrible students of their own destiny. I'm not talking about that, even your own. Like, you are not diligent enough to trace the progression of God's walk with you. You are not a good student of your own walk with the Lord. That's why many of us are dusty in the spirit. Like, dust don't cover you finish. The last time anything significant happened was a long time ago. You're like civil service, you know the way they do it. Your dust, some of you said, it's like even to find your file now is a problem. Your file has been gathering dust somewhere. Nothing has happened. It has not been attended to in 6 years. Because you are such a terrible, terrible follower. I'm saying that there is a place you are that you should not be. Don't try to make yourself comfortable. Don't find something that will help you to be comfortable in a place that you ought not to be in the first place. And I'm saying that the way you move from place to place, number one is encounter. The God of heaven needs to bump into you, and you and God need to share one space in the spirit so that there can be a transfer of life that is required in order to give you the upgrade that you need for the first thing, for the next things of your life. It's not just enough to know. There is a power in the spirit by which the things we know become the things that we are. And that power cannot come in any other way except by divine direct transfer from the Spirit of God. It's a capital that God invests in a man, and then he says to you from that point, go and trade with this. Go and trade with this. And then after he says it, they say we need to give you more allocation. Go and trade with this. Even if you're a businessman, if you're a businesswoman, if you're a student, I don't care what you are. Oh, if you're a preacher, why not? Why not? Every preacher has his guaranteed level. The guaranteed level of a preacher is bad as he bad. Bad as he bad. Say any day where God will come, if he bad, he no go bad pass like this. That's your guaranteed level. And that thing should be increasing as we walk with the Lord. For instance, there are some persons that have known him as Savior, but they have not known him as the one that sets the solitary in families. And there might be an encounter that they need from the Lord. Are you there? There are some persons that have even known him as the one that sets the solitary in family. They are married. But you know, children are the gift of the Lord. And the fruit of the womb is his reward. There is another encounter with the Lord by which a couple is brought into the fruitfulness that is part of the package that God has for them. If you have not seen people that have struggled with childbearing, you will think that having children is automatic with marriage. It is not. It's not. It's not. There's a sequence. And so one comes before the other. But it is not an absolute that one must always come after the other. Because there are many people that have fulfilled the first and they are not able to enter the second. And I'm saying to you that you might need to know God as the one who sets the solitary family. So you have your own spouse. You might also need to know God as the one that makes us fruitful. Huh? And if you have had one encounter and you have not had the next encounter, you'll be needing a now encounter. So a day will break that God will need to come to you and say, God, as the one who sets the solitary family, have I now come? When that day breaks over your life, it means that your season in singlehood has expired. Huh? And then there are some persons that are there. They have been there for 5 years, for 6 years, 7 years. And what God will now need to come to say to them is that, as the one that gives children unto the barren, have I now